Hello, friends. So today I want to explore with you an idea that is quite radical and goes against all mainstream thinking, in science anyway. But I think as we explore consciousness as the fundamental ground of being, we have many questions that come up and many dilemmas also, because the dilemmas have to do with things like personal identity, dark night of the soul, meaning of death. I've tried to address all this in previous videos, but let's go a little deeper today, because some people say that when we say that the universe is a human construct, it sounds anthropocentric. That's all human based. So I want to address that. What about other animals? What about other species? After all, we see them around behaving like sentient beings, tigers and elephants and cats and mosquitoes and insects. Even trees seem to have some kind of sentience, as do we. So why do we say that the human universe, because that's what we experience, the human universe, why do we say it's a human construct? So first of all, let's examine this idea in detail, a little more detail than I've done before. What we call the human body and the human mind and the human personality, otherwise referred to as a person, is an intermittent experience during waking state of sensations, images, and thoughts, which are modulations of awareness. But these modulations of awareness are filtered through another modulation of awareness, which we call the human mind, which is quite distinct from other minds, the minds of other species, in that the human mind engages in language that creates models and stories and everything else, all, let's say, language models, biological language, the language of physics, the language of mathematics, the language of philosophy, theology, religion, etc. And then the human mind also has the ability to introspect, to think about thinking. So obviously the human mind is a storytelling mind, a model creating mind, an exploring mind, a mind that seeks to understand through intention, through intuition, through attention, through insight, through imagination, through creativity, and even seeks to go to the source of mind, which we call awareness. So that which we call a person is a combination of intermittent sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, as filtered through the conditioned storytelling human mind, model creating human mind. You are not a person in the deeper reality. You are the awareness in which the person is both recycling and evolving like a staircase. Okay. So once we understand this, that what we call a person is a process, intermittent process in the waking state of sensations, combinations of sensations, human perceptions, human thoughts, human emotions, human feelings, human imaginations. Once we understand that this person is that process in awareness, then everything else this person perceives, trees, stars, sky, furniture, people, other people, animals, birds, bacteria, viruses, then all those entities are also processes as experienced in awareness by the conditioned human mind. All the conditioning that has taken place since the invention of storytelling language, beyond the language of other animals as we see them, we say, as we experience other animals, we say that they have only mating calls, food calls, and danger calls, but no story calls, no stories, no insight, no imagination. That's what we say as a result of our modes of knowing and perception as filtered through the human mind. So just like there is no person as a distinct entity, the person is a provisional identity. There are no animals, there are no plants, there are no rocks, there are no stars, and there are no galaxies as distinct inherent entities, independent of what? Independent of human perception, which is a modified form of non-local awareness. So non-local awareness, modifying itself as the human intellect, ego, body, mind with its perceptual apparatuses, perceives itself as the body mind and then all other things as further elaborations or constructs of the human mind, the human constructs. A giraffe doesn't know, it's called a giraffe. That's a human name for that activity, that perceptual activity, that behavior, that shape, that color, that form, that texture, that smell, as experienced through the human mind. And so a giraffe is a human construct in the human mind, which itself is a modification of non-local awareness. That non-local awareness is the ground of all experience, But remember, we as humans have human experience through human perceptions and through the human conditioned mind. William Blake had a beautiful poem where he said, "We are led to believe a lie when we see with and not through the eye, that was born in a night and to perish in a night, while the soul slept in beams of light." So everything that humans experience is a human construct for human modes of knowing and experience in the human mind, which is a modification of the non-local mind. But this is divine, because through the human mind, non-local awareness is constructing the human universe with stars, galaxies, forms, phenomena, colors, shapes, tastes, smells, feelings, images, imagination, and finally thought. So who creates the universe? Non-local awareness, the ground of being. Let's call it presence or being or the self of the individual, the self of the universe. Non-local awareness is presence, being, the self, consciousness, pure consciousness, infinite possibilities, infinite correlation, infinite self-regulation, infinite evolution, but also infinite manifestations as experienced by the human mind. Giraffes and elephants and trees and insects and rocks and plants and stars are galaxies, and galaxies are human constructs, human imagination, human perceptions, human conceptions, as this and all this, all that. Okay. It's very beautiful where I'm here right now in the lakes, in the Cotswolds, Lakes by Yo, in England. But all this is a human construct in non-local awareness. Now, these constructs get revised with models of reality, including today, large language models, which we call AI, that extend the range of our understanding and experience as constructed by the human mind in a non-local awareness which is not tarnished or affected by the programs it constructs, conceives, delivers, and becomes and imagines. Just like your computer screen is not tarnished by the programs that appear in it. CNN, the wars, and all the things that are happening in the world, all those appear on the screen of consciousness or awareness, but the consciousness is untarnished. It recycles and evolves as the human mind through which is filtered the entire experience of the human universe. Now, this has immense implications, but it implies certainly that to be human is to be divine. This is the incarnation that divine awareness takes on as what we call human beings. Let me know your thoughts.